Test, test. How's everybody doing? It's good to be here with you. I posted a couple things just talking about getting back from California. We were in LA, mainly we were in Glendale. We always stay in Glendale because it's cheap. Glendale's actually not that cheap. I don't know if you're familiar with LA, but the hotel we stay at is. And unfortunately, it's because something horrible happened at this hotel a number of years ago at the Glendale. If you want to Google the Glendale, I might spare you the gory details. Maybe I'll tell you the details. It's someone was murdered there, and they were a high-profile person, and it just made national news, and it was pretty bad. And I think it really hurt that hotel badly. And they never renovated. They never for years. And it's a very clean hotel, but it's in our budget. It's in our shoestring budget that Aaron and I are on when we do these trips. And we had a showcase in Santa Monica for a new project that we're working on. And I'll be working on some of this stuff with you guys and sharing some of the music called Heart and Home. And it's songs, non-romantic love songs. And that means just songs that are more about friends and family than romantic interests. Actually, not. I shouldn't say more about that. It's like entirely about that. Oh, I see Regina's here. Hey, girl. How's it going? Yeah, California. It's if you try to stay in the nice hotels, it's gonna be tricky. We're I call it like champagne taste on a beer budget, I guess you'd say. And anyway, the Glendale Hotel is actually, it's located really well. It's far from Santa Monica where Universal is. So when we stay there, we got to get up really early because we showcased at 10:30. So we got up at least 6 a.m. and left by 7 because when you get on the freeway, the 405, that famous freeway in LA, it's just, the traffic is, I mean, Regina, you know traffic. You're in New York, but at least in New York, people usually kind of take more cabs and stop driving eventually, especially if you're in New York City. I think, Regina, you're not in you're in New Jersey, I think. But still, I'm sure traffic's crazy. Traffic's really crazy here in Hamilton, getting to Toronto now. The QEW freeway is just bonkers. So, yeah. Yeah, California traffic's a monster compared to New York City. Where do you think the worst traffic in the world is? I feel like it's like somewhere like Southeast Asia. There's like definitely not Tokyo because I feel like they have their traffic really figured out, even though they have a crazy population density. I think Bangkok or something crazy like that would have really bonkers traffic, but in a different way. I think that LA's got to be one of the worst, if not the worst. Obviously, New York is pretty brutal. Come down to Toronto sometime, and I know Regina and some of you guys have been to Toronto. I know Louise comes to Toronto to see shows and stuff, and it's bad. It's bad. You just never, and you never know when rush hour is. That's the problem too. How do you plan for it if you don't know, like? It's like, oh, I'll leave at 1 to go to Toronto for something. And it's like, oh, all of a sudden I'm in traffic. Yeah, Gardner Express, like crazy, totally. So yeah, we did the showcase. And it was really, we looked at each other a few times. And we're like, how are we here? Because it was like the president of Universal Worldwide was there. Like all these big time film executive people that sync stuff in movies and TV shows, and they were all watching us strum our tunes. Not that different from what I do here for you guys, really. Just that it was on a stage, and there was a bit of a sound system, but it was just Aaron and I just literally strumming a guitar and doing harmonies and stuff, and they loved it. And I was really happy with the reception of some of these new songs and song ideas and stuff, but as you know, a lot of my inspiration does get amped up a bit when I do these. So I'm going to be doing these for a while now, twice a month, maybe more. I might start hopping on just randomly, because it's just very, for some reason, I guess I like an audience and I like hanging out with people because I'm here alone in my studio so much. So it's just nice to have people around, even though it's virtual. Um, so we were going to LA. And before the trip, we make a few phone calls and we reach out to some people to try and, because to go all the way to LA, it's a 5.5 hour flight from Toronto. It's because of the airstream, the wind, it's quicker to get back by almost an hour. But on the way there, it's long and expensive, and we're staying in hotels and eating and all that stuff, and gas and car rentals. And so we reached out to a friend of ours at ABC, great guy named Paul Glass, who does a lot of music for, I can't tell you the soap, I could tell you, but there's a soap opera that he does the music for it. And a lot of the music in a soap opera is just like very ambient background, like strings and stuff. But they use songs too for certain certain instances. They use songs. In fact, we did a song for him, but it was 6 years ago, which we couldn't believe. And so, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we reached out to Paul. We're like, hey, we're in LA. Do you want to come to this showcase we're doing? Because we want to stay in contact with him. He's a great guy, but also selfishly, we'd like him to use more of our music. And he's like, I'm out east. I think he was in Boston or something with family, and he's like, I can't get together with you. And then, of course, I answered and I said, no problem. Remember to keep us in mind if you need music. And he's like, funny that you're asking me. And it's like, right place, right time. Story of so many of our lives, right? And he's like, I'm one of our main characters on the show is how do you put it? Like they're killing them off on the show. And she was a real central character, and we're doing a montage, so we need a full song. Can you send me anything? We're cutting to picture next week, and so we had a couple things that in the can ready to go, and I think I was talking to you guys a bit about that. We were working on something. I guess it was before I left for California, and. But then we wrote a couple things after that, because that one that I was working on, I'm like, I love it, and I'll revisit it here. But it just, when you write for TV, and especially if it's a montage, in my mind, there needs to be a lot of space in the song. It can't be super dense with lyrics, and I feel like you need to allow some breathing room. And so we wrote like 2 or 3 other things, where we started 2 or 3 other things, and I want to play you guys something that we landed on. If you'd like to hear it. And this had a lot of space, and it really started out as just like, everywhere I look, I see your face. That was it. Everywhere I look, I see your face. Now, when I was in Florida, not that long ago, a few weeks ago, I ran into a really dear friend of ours. He's a man in his 70s, and he is married to this lady named Barbara, who my daughters absolutely love. And when we go to Florida, they walk her dog. She lives in the same community as my mom. Now Barbara, and we have not told the girls, and my window's open so they could hear me, but we haven't told them Barbara passed away. They knew she was sick. She had a major heart issue, and she passed away. And so I hadn't seen Russ in a while, and I said, "How are you doing?" And he goes, I'm okay, but I need to get out of here for a vacation. And I said, well, why is that? Like, I understood why, but I'm just like, so where are you going? And yeah, I get it. And well, what's going on? And he goes, everywhere I look, I see her face. And then he finished that sentence by, around here, it's just everything reminds me of her. And all these memories. And I just, that stuck with me. And so Aaron and I were working on that idea that I just played for you. Like, we had some melody, everything I think I do. I think it was more like memories and like it was something about memories. And then that line just really stuck with me. And so, everywhere I look, I see your face. It's so sad, and it's so like that. So that really informed where we were going. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics that we're working on here. I can get them in 2 seconds. Memories. It's called Memories Remain. So I'll sing you the chorus now, where we landed. Everywhere I look, I see your face. In the wind through the trees, I hear your name. Funny how the seasons change, but I still feel the same. Even though you're gone, the memories remain. So I just love it. I as soon as we came up with that chorus, I was just like, I think that we will send that to Paul. I just feel like this is what he's looking for. Very emotional scene. They're looking for an authentic, melancholy, you're looking back through someone's life. And I think the biggest thing when you lose someone is those memories and wanting to hold on to those memories, but also wanting to let go of that person. It's such a paradox. So I just like the way that, and it's really funny. The third line that has the word funny in it, no pun intended there. It's like, everywhere I look, I see your face. In the wind, through the trees, I hear your name. We wrote ain't it, but funny how the seasons change, but I still feel the same. Even though you're gone, the memories remain. The seasons change. Obviously, I write a lot about seasons and autumn song. So I use that word a lot because I think it works as a fantastic metaphor and blah, blah, blah. But the seasons change. This is a television show with seasons, with more seasons of any. It's got the most seasons of any soap opera ever. So you can easily Google that and figure it out for yourself what soap opera I'm talking about. It's funny how the seasons changed, but I still feel the same. Like, I just feel like we got lucky. Like, we nailed it in so many different aspects of it. So, and then we had this really pretty verse. Oh man. You ever click on your screen and you're loading up things you do not want to be loaded? Logic, no. You're going to make my computer explode. Ugh. I've just clicked on like 10 things. Oh my. Now I gotta wait for it to load. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, whatever. So, the memories remain. Oh, the verse. The melody's like this.
In the wind through the trees I hear your name. Funny how the seasons change, but I still feel the same. Even though you're gone, the memories remain.
So this verse was
the scent of roses drifting on the early morning air. A million things throughout my day can take me right back there. I remember how we used to dance barefoot in the grass. The only music that we needed was the sound of your sweet laugh. Now everywhere I look I see your face. In the wind through the trees I hear your name. Ain't it funny how the seasons change, but I still feel the same. Even though you're gone, the memories remain. Even though you're gone, the memories remain. Everywhere I look, I see your face. In the wind through the trees, I hear your name. Funny how the seasons change, but I still feel the same. Even though you're gone, the memories remain. Even though you're gone, the memories remain.
So yeah, there it is, the song, and it was really sparked from doing these songwriter live streams. Just it where you don't feel like you're working in a vacuum. So I really appreciate that. There's another song that we're just working on for this Universal Production Music. Called When You Smile. And I'm going to play just the chorus of need a bit of reverb for this.
When you smile, the whole world smiles with you. When you laugh, always gets me laughing too. When you cry, pray they'll all be happy tears. And as you grow, I'll love you more with every year. And when you smile, the whole world smiles with you. When you smile, always gets me smiling too.
So I really really like that, and it's very reminiscent of a song um, that was sung way back in the day by, and I'm gonna forget his name now. I think Frank Sinatra might have done a version of very similar lyric, and we stumbled on that lyric and we're like, it's so we love that. What a great simple song that could be used in a lot of film and TV shows and put smiles on people's faces. And then we remember I think it's Mel Torme. Like, it just so happens that literally this year, even in the last couple months, that song became public domain, which means you can use and rewrite and it's free and clear. So it was like meant to be almost. I feel like sometimes I look at these signs that happen, these things that happen in your day, and you're like, why did I just run into that person? Or why did I see that sign with that word on? And I was just made me think of this person who calls you 10 minutes later. And it's like these serendipitous events. And I feel like that was one of them. So we're going to finish that one up and use it for a perfect song for heart and home, non-romantic love songs. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go, I'm starving. I got to not plan these right around dinner time. Maybe next time I'll do it a little earlier or a little later. Maybe I'll throw that out to you guys. But have an awesome rest of your day. And I believe next Wednesday, I'm going to be doing my full live stream concert. So hopefully we will see you there. And yeah, stay safe. And what did I always say? Stay safe and stay tuned.